All right, so before I continue on with Revelations, with chapter 7, um, I would like to first try to decipher the third rider, famine. It says, I looked again, and there before my eyes was a black horse. Its rider had a pair of scales in his hand, and I heard a voice which seemed to come from the four living creatures saying, a quart of wheat for a shilling and 3 quarts of barley for a shilling, but no tampering with the olive oil or the wine. So the four living creatures say it. And they're talking about money and oil and wine. Now, what I think this might really mean is it's spiritual. They're not talking about actual barley or actual wine. It could be because supposedly what's happening here is the prices on essentials are rising. The prices on cheap things are rising, but you can't change the prices on expensive luxuries like oil and wine. So I think that has something to do with the spiritual world. Like the people who are spiritually low down in the dirt, it's going to be harder for them. They're going to have to spend more energy to get anything. But the people who are spiritually up there, they'll be fine. There's not going to be any type of hike on their spiritual sustenance, if that makes any type of sense. So anyways, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. But so the last thing we read was, fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. A lamb, yeah, be scared of a lamb. This is how crazy things are. You're going to be scared of a lamb. For the great day of his wrath has come, and who is able to stand against it? So now we're on to chapter 7. Judgment stayed for the sealing of God's people. So we just got done breaking these seals. We broke 6 seals. And I don't know when... Oh, the 7th seal will come a little bit later. But for now... yes, it's before this 7th seal gets broken, we got some stuff going on. So later I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding in check the 4 winds of the earth, that none should blow upon the earth, or upon the sea, or upon any tree. Now, before I continue on, I don't know who these 4 angels are. I could guess who they are. But, I'm not even going to do that. Well, say Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Merkaba. Or maybe Sandalphon. I don't know. But anyway, so 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding in check the 4 winds of the earth, that none should blow upon the earth or upon the sea or upon any tree. Okay, so these 4 winds of the earth, I think they're destructive. And so we're going to wait before these 4 winds are unleashed. 4 angels, 4 winds. So you got those 4 angels. And then I saw another angel ascending out of the east, holding the seal of the living God. He cried out in a loud voice to the 4 angels who had the power to harm the earth and the sea. So yeah, those 4 winds are destructive. Do no harm to the earth, nor to the sea, nor to the trees, until we have sealed the servants of our God upon their foreheads. Now, it might not be talking about an actual earth, actual sea, actual trees. This could be all very spiritual. Probably is. So nor to the trees until we have sealed the servants of our God upon their foreheads. So there's people who are going to be getting a mark, a seal, if you will, probably not a physical one, on their forehead. And yeah, and they will be fine when the four winds are unleashed, but they have to protect these servants of God first. Everybody else, well, I heard the number of those who were thus sealed, and it was 144,000 from every tribe of the sons of Israel. So I guess 144,000 people from all different races. Okay, it's not going to be just Jews, or just whatever. It's going to be from every tribe. That's how I interpret that. So 12,000 were sealed from the tribe of Judah. 12,000, and it says so on and so on. Levi, Issachar, and so I'm not even going to read all that. So anyways, so now we're on to the countless host of the redeemed. When this was done, I looked again, and before my eyes appeared a vast crowd beyond man's power to number. They came from every nation and tribe and people and language, and they stood before the throne of the Lamb, dressed in white robes with palm branches in their hands. So they say they can't... It's a vast number that you can't count. Well, maybe that could be the 144,000. That's a pretty vast crowd beyond man's power to number, as far as the crowd goes. So they stood before the throne of the Lamb, dressed in white robes with palm branches in their hands. The white robes, we kind of already talked about white robes a little bit, with the one angel, one of the seven Holy Spirits of the Lord is talking about that. In palm branches, I don't know, I guess, what is that, peace? That's an olive branch. So maybe a palm branch means death, I don't know. But anyways, so just kidding. But anyways, so with a great voice they shouted these words: Salvation belongs to our God who sits upon the throne and to the Lamb. So you're getting a gathering of everybody who understands that yes, God is the salvation. It may not be these, 24 elders with crowns, or 4 living creatures with eyeballs all over them, or 7 Holy Spirits of God, but there are plenty of other, around 144,000 other folks out there in the world, who are sealed, okay, against these 4 winds that are about to sweep through and fuck up trees and the sea and the earth. Or, the metaphor that those things. Anyway, so when this was done, I looked... Oh, hold on a second. Okay, yeah, so I read that. Then all the angels stood encircling the throne, the elders and the 4 living creatures, and prostrated themselves with heads bowed before the throne, and worshipped God, saying, Amen, blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and strength to be given to our God for timeless ages. Okay, so now we're on to the countless host explained. Then one of the elders addressed me and asked, Those who are dressed in white robe, who are they and where do they come from? You know, my Lord. Oh, you know, my Lord, I answered him. Okay, so these are all people of God. Then he told me, these are those who have come through the great oppression. Oh! They have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. So, yeah, these turbulent times, this Armageddon, That's going to test you more than you've ever been tested. You know, when they make armor, the hottest fire makes the hottest armor, or excuse me, the most strongest armor. So, yeah, the purest steel comes from the hottest fire. So, anyways, so that is why they now have their place before the throne of God and serve him day and night in his temple. So, due to this great oppression in these final days, they washed their robes and made them white. So these robes popping up again. He who sits upon the throne will be their shelter. They will never again know hunger or thirst. The sun shall never beat upon them, neither shall there be any scorching heat. So we're not talking about actual heat and actual sun. We're talking about more like the fires of hell. And this oppression, this oppressive, sweltering heat, you know, that is the collective magic of all these evil creatures that don't like God. So you're on the opposite side. And that oppression is going to be no more. Okay? This is the end of all that. So, for the Lamb who is in the center of the throne will be their shepherd and will lead them to springs of living water. So it's not an actual lamb, okay? This lamb is a representation, just like these beasts aren't actual beasts. They're a representation for something, of something else. For the Lamb who is in the center of the throne will be their shepherd and will lead them to springs of living water. And God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. So, yeah, that'll be the end of, you know, the oppression and sadness and whatever. People have already dealt with enough, you know, as far as past lives and especially this life. So, well, these people who love God, yeah, they're the ones who are really, you know, probably feeling the most pain now, being oppressed the most now. So anyways, so chapter 8, the seventh seal, will be the next video. See ya.